growing up as a kid, yeah. All a nigga wanna have was a Burberry scarf and $3 in my pocket. Instead I got beat with a switch, but I don't give a fuck, but it's on my body. Scars all up on me, but I run around from.
The New York Jets need to trade Jamal Adams. They need to trade Jamal Adams. A lot of New York Jets fans keep saying that, we don't have to trade Jamal Adams. He still has a few years on his contract remaining. And that is true. You don't have to trade him. And he does have a few years remaining on his contract. But if you're the New York Jets, Jamal Adams asked for a trade because he supposedly wanted a new extension. And the New York Jets can't do it. First of all, with the ongoing pandemic that's going on, money kind of being tight. And secondly, Jamal Adams still has a few years remaining on his contract. But if you're the New York Jets, why keep him? Why go through that problem? Because listen, Jamal Adams, I believe, doesn't want out of New York strictly because of not getting a new contract. I think that he just doesn't want to play for the New York Jets anymore, and he used the reason of the New York Jets not wanting to give him a contract extension as a reasoning to ask for a trade so he can save face with the fans, so he can, kind of somewhat save his reputation and his brand. Because a lot of players, they don't want to get traded with people knowing that they want it out. They kind of want to save face. They don't want to be looked at as the villain. So Jamal Adams he understands what's going on. He understands that he still has a few years remaining on his contract. He understands that money is tight right now. Teams just can't be forking out money like that. He understands that. He just wanted to use it as a reason to ask for a trade. It's like, have you ever known a guy who's been in a relationship with a female or a woman, right? And the woman breaks up with the man over something small. The woman just didn't want to come to the man and say, you know what, the relationship's not working out. We should break up. The woman wanted to use something as a reasoning for why they should break up. That's how I look at this Jamal Adams situation. And a lot of you Jets fans keep saying we don't need to trade him. Why would you want to keep a guy who doesn't want to be there? You see, to win in the NFL, to not just the NFL, to win on the sports team in general, it doesn't matter if you're Pee Wee League, Middle School League, High School Professional, everybody has to have the same mindset. The high school team I go to, the high school has a motto called one team, one goal. When you play on a sports team, everybody has to have the same mindset to win. Jamal Adams, is his mindset the same as everybody else in the New York Jets locker room? It's not. His mindset is getting out of New York. So why would you keep a guy who doesn't want to be there? He's going to ruin the team chemistry. He's going to ruin the locker room. And it's going to be a distraction. That's all people are going to be talking about the New York Jets. That's all people are going to be asking is, Jamal Adams. Are you going to trade Jamal Adams? What about Jamal Adams? Are you going to give Jamal Adams a contract extension? That's not how you win games in the NFL. Take the Dolphins, for example, right? When Minka Fitzpatrick asked for a trade, the Miami Dolphins got on it. Because you want to know why? They understand that you can't move forward as a team and get better if you have players who don't want to be there. You're not going to win a lot of games with players that don't want to play for you. The Dolphins understood that, and they got the players who didn't buy into what the Dolphins were doing, who didn't want to play for the Dolphins. They got them on up out of there. And look what happened. They won games. Now imagine if they never traded Minka Fitzpatrick. Imagine if they never traded or got rid of the players who didn't want to be there. They probably would have went 0-16 because of the locker room morale and the team chemistry being low. So if you're the New York Jets, the longer you keep Jamal Adams, the more his trade value is going to go down, because the more he's going to keep addressing it to the media, the more he's just going to keep using more tactics to try to force his way out of New York. And if you're the New York Jets, why set yourself up for that? You already have a head coach who has a big ego. You got Jamal Adams who already has just as big as an ego as Adam Gase. So why would you want to set yourself up for that kind of locker room confrontation with something that's going to divide the locker room? And the locker room for the New York Jets already isn't as good as it is already. It already is a couple of things that have came out about the New York Jets locker room and players not really buying into Adam Gase and not liking Adam Gase. So then you want to add on to that and you want to keep Jamal Adams, who doesn't want to be there. You see, reasonings like this are the reasons why the New York Jets are one of the worst organizations in the NFL. You got somebody who doesn't want to be there, you get rid of him. You get rid of him. You don't keep somebody who doesn't want to be there because you're not going to win a lot of games that way. That's going to ruin the locker room. It's going to ruin the chemistry on the field. And you're going to lose. Instead, you could get so much for Jamal Adams right now. You could probably get a first-round pick, some good players, maybe another offensive lineman, a high-quality offensive lineman. You could get so much for Jamal Adams right now. But if you keep him, he's just going to keep on bringing it up to the media. He's just going to keep on finding out new tactics to try to force his way out of New York. And by the time you're fed up with Jamal Adams and you get ready to trade him, you're getting like a 4th or 5th round pick for him. So if you're the New York Jets, it's in your best interest right now to trade Jamal Adams. It just is. You're never going to get better as an organization holding on to people who don't want to be there. You think Bill Gates got to the point that he is by hiring and keeping employees that didn't want to be there? No. If you want to be successful in a group or on a sports team in general, everybody has to have the same mindset. Everybody has to have the same goal. Jamal Adams' mindset isn't on the same mindset that the rest of the New York Jets players have. His mindset is getting up out of New York. You see, a lot of people are just going to be like, oh, it's just one person. Yes, just one person. But that one person can be a cancer and it can rub off on the entire locker room. Look at Antonio Brown. He forced himself out of Pittsburgh. He also forced himself out of Oakland at the time. Now they're the Las Vegas Raiders. You saw what he did. You saw what he did to the Raiders. You saw what happened to that locker room. You saw what happened to all the turmoil and things. If you have a player that doesn't want to be there, you get rid of him. You don't keep it. Because the longer you keep that player, the more the cancer spreads. The more that player becomes detrimental to the success of the team. You don't let one player run your franchise. If you are the New York Jets, you don't hold on to Jamal Adams. It's not going to vote well for you. You can get so much for Jamal Adams right now, but since you just want to hold on to him for some odd reason, you're not going to move forward. And if you believe that Jamal Adams wants out because of his contract extension, I don't think that is the case. I think he used that as a reasoning for asking for a trade to save face with the fans because nobody wants to be known as the bad guy. Nobody wants to be known as that. Players have hearts, you know. Players feel hurt when they got people on social media bashing them, calling them selfish, calling them evil because they wanted out. Players don't want to leave teams that way. They want to leave teams on a good note. So that was the whole reasoning behind the contract extension. Jamal Adams knew that the Jets can't offer him an extension right now. He just wants out of New York. He wants to play for somebody else. So why keep a player who doesn't want to be there? It doesn't vote well for the New York Jets. The New York Jets need to trade Jamal Adams. Just doesn't make a lot of sense to keep a guy who doesn't want to be there because you'll never move forward as a team that way. Everybody needs to have the same mindset to be successful. Jamal Adams' mind is on something else. It's on getting out of New York. If a guy doesn't want to be there, get rid of him. That's like having a worker that says, you know what, fire me, I don't want to work here no more, and instead you want to continue to hold on to him. You think that player is really going to be giving his all? You think that worker is really going to be giving it 100% to that company that he doesn't want to be with? I don't think so. So the longer the New York Jets continue to hold on to Jamal Adams, the more he's just going to keep on adding on and adding on and adding on, trying to force his way out of New York. To the point like you just don't get anything in return for him. Basically, you just be letting him walk. And plus, it's good to trade him now because you can get the most for him. The New York Jets are not making it to the playoffs. I don't care what you New York Jets fans say. You're not going to the playoffs. You're not. You're not a playoff team. So if you trade Jamal Adams right now, you could potentially get 3 or a few assets that make you a playoff team. So trading Jamal Adams right now could help you in the long run instead of keeping Jamal Adams and having your team become even worse. You shouldn't let one player dictate your franchise. You shouldn't let that happen. Guys don't want to be there, you get rid of them. Look what Seattle did. Look what happened when they got rid of Richard Sherman and everybody in the locker room who was speaking out on the coaching situation and Russell Wilson. The chemistry got better and Seattle went to the playoffs. That's what has to happen. When you don't have players who are on the same mindset as the rest of the team, you got to get rid of them. Jamal Adams' mindset isn't on the same mindset that the rest of the New York Jets players have. You need to get rid of them. The longer you keep them, the worse the situation's going to get, the worse his trade value declines, and the worse your team gets. You're never going to get better keeping people who don't want to be there. So let me know what you guys think about this down in the comment section down below. Make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel for more NFL videos and content, and thanks for watching.